Right, thank you, Alex. Would you like to ask your question, and Councillor Hadley will then answer.
Firstly, I'd like to thank the Council for your response from the 10th of December Council meeting, which outlined some of the Environment and Place ONS Committee's considerations regarding increased plant-based options in Council-controlled food services, limiting unsustainable food advertising, and launching public education campaigns. These are positive steps. However, given the urgency of the climate crisis, which is affecting lives around the world, with clear scientific evidence about the impact of our food systems, decisive action is crucial. Could you please share what decisions the committee has made regarding these considerations, including any timelines for implementation if possible? We count on you to demonstrate the necessary leadership on this critical issue. The Plant-Based Treaty team offers their full support and resources to aid in this process. Furthermore, to highlight these important ongoing internal efforts, will the Council finally endorse the Plant-Based Treaty?
Councillor Hadley.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry, I thought you were going to answer all the questions, but it's fine this way. Alex, thank you for your question. The Place and Environment Overview and Scrutiny Committee continue to explore the most significant impacts of humans accelerating climate change and how we reduce our impact. They are about to review our annual report for progress on climate mitigation. Global food supply accounts for about 30% of carbon emissions, and about 20% of that relates to international transport of food, including fruit and vegetables. There is no doubt that the footprint of meat eating is a significant multiplier, and that a low-meat, vegetarian or vegan diet is beneficial in terms of carbon footprint as well as health. So is eating locally produced and seasonal food, and this, together with reducing processing and packaging, all contribute to improving the carbon footprint. The Overview and Scrutiny Committee is not a decision-making body, but make recommendations to Cabinet. We are grateful for the offer of support from your group. In a democracy, we need to advise people, to give them opportunities, but ultimately to respect that people will choose what they eat and why. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hadley. Thank you, Alex. We now have Julia Berg. Would you like to ask your question? Come through to the microphone. Thank you.
Good evening. This year will be the first year where we'll exceed the 1.5 degrees global temperature increase, a limit set by the Paris Agreement. This is not a political target. This is a physical limit of the planet. Action must be taken to ensure we achieve a stable climate. The food system is one of the leading causes of the climate crisis. We are aware that the issue of diets is something that affects our culture and daily lives. So will the Council endorse the Plant-Based Treaty and be transparent with the public and local community to address and explain environmental and health consequences of animal agriculture and products on the population, to educate children and the next generation in the community about the climate emergency, and support a transition to a plant-based food system?
Councillor Hadley, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Julia, thank you for your question. It is indeed a rising challenge that there has been inadequate, clear leadership and education nationally and internationally on the climate crisis facing our planetary home. The biggest contributions that individuals and the Council can make to reducing our carbon footprint around how we heat our homes and other spaces, how and where we choose to travel, and whether we are prepared to reduce our consumption of all things, not just food. Reducing consumption of meat and any food products which are imported, highly processed or otherwise stored out of season are all good steps to reduce environmental damage. I agree that education, particularly for the next generation about the climate emergency and what individuals can do to reduce their footprint, is important. They will be the ones to inherit what we leave behind. We are ensuring that plant-based options are available and promoted in Council-run outlets and that we support a transition to a plant-based food system. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hadley. And now, Sarah Abbott, would you like to come forward with your question to Councillor Hadley? Thank you.
Good evening. The IPCC is telling us that food systems have to move from being a source of emissions to being a carbon sink. Cities and councils are absolutely essential in climate solutions. A few changes, even at a local level, can have a huge broader impact on other councils and can influence change at a national level. Cities such as Amsterdam and Edinburgh have endorsed the plant-based treaty, followed by impact assessments, action plans, and implementations, such as increased plant-based options in public institutions, reducing advertising of environmentally harmful products, and introducing more plant-based options in schools, even having 1 day a week Earth Days where 100% plant-based options are offered. So my question is there any reason why the BCP Council cannot endorse the plant-based treaty like so many other councils are doing?
Thank you. And I believe now it's Councillor Herrick to reply, not Councillor Hadley. Thank you.
Sarah, thank you for your question, and apologies for the confusion. We've made a bit of a late switch. The Council are seeking to introduce more plant-based options around our own catering outlets, which are mostly on the seafront. In that setting, there is direct competition with private catering organisations, and in order to retain customers and maintain income that helps fund vital council services, we need to balance our offer. The principal demand is for ice cream and coffee, and whilst we do have vegan offers and are looking at how we can promote these, it ultimately requires customers to choose them. If a plant-based offer is engaging, tasty and wanted, then it would not only increase overall sales, it could also shift the balance to a larger proportion of sales being plant-based, and this would be an outcome that provides a win-win scenario. As I said at the beginning, we are working to increase options for plant-based products, but this does take time. We are also reviewing the carbon footprint of our packaging, supply chain and waste streams alongside this other work, and they are also important mitigation matters. We are not, as a council, in a position to mandate to schools their menus or curriculum. Thank you again.
Thank you, Councillor Herrick. Thank you, Sarah.